Authorities in Bergen County are on the lookout for a man who tried to lure a child into his car here in Old Tappan. We were here when school got out on Friday. The news has scared parents and reminded children of the importance of staying away from strangers. The sign reads landfill closed today, but on Monday a judge ruled that the Keegan landfill will have to stay closed. Take a look, we just had a tree. Look at this. This just happened right here. This tree on Yardley Road fell down. You can just see I'm actually standing on the sidewalk right now and my feet, the water is up to my ankles. A school bus shutdown in Lakewood was averted, but the problem isn't solved yet. Starting on October 25th, New Jersey Transit will introduce a new express route. The route will start at the Port Authority bus terminal in New York City and run to the American Dream complex. As soon as the sun goes down, the annual Tribute in Light will begin. Two twin beams representing the Twin Towers will climb 4 miles into the sky. The exhibit is wildly interactive. Nearly every station has its own virtual reality experience. For instance, at the Newark station, you can put the VR set on and immediately be transported to the Ironbound neighborhood of the city. There you'll get a feel for just how many trucks drive through this neighborhood and how that impacts the asthma rates for the people that live here. During medieval times, Queen Isabella says she still has her knights in the cavalry behind her. But in 2018, she says she's happy that her character can play a role in the fight for women's empowerment. About 40 people that live on this block in Jersey City are now looking for a place to stay. A fire ripped through Wade Street, burning through 4 different buildings early Friday morning. But now on Friday night, the people that live here are actually looking at it and saying, as bad as it looks, we're grateful that nobody was hurt.
Flames was up so high, as hot as I don't know what, because it was shooting at everybody. It got that house all the way across the street. It ruined cars there. It was horrible.
Joseph Fasumi has lived on Wade Street for nearly 2 decades.
18 years living here. Just 1, 5, 10 minutes, everything burned up. It's not easy.
His family is one of 16 families here that lost their home.
Very, 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 very difficult. Very difficult.
He's not sure where his family will go.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
Fire officials say there are 39 people displaced like Fasumi. But as difficult as it is,
it looks horrible, but I thank God that nobody got hurt.
The neighborhood is thankful it wasn't worse. Nobody was hurt, and part of the reason why...
Everybody around here sticks together.
This man.
I seen the fire blazing. It was like an inferno.
Jacob Levine.
I helped out 2 older ladies.
He went and knocked on doors to wake people up and get them out of the burning buildings.
Tell them it's a fire out here, and he got a lot of people up.
And we got everybody out safe, and that's the only thing I was worried about. You know, that's all I cared about.
Levine shrugged when we asked if he was a hero.
This is how I was raised. Help people out, if you can.
The cause of the fire is under investigation, but fire officials have said whatever started it seems suspicious. So if you know anything, give police or fire a call. From Jersey City, Tom Murphy, FiOS 1 News. Good evening, Courtney. We're here on Old River Road in Edgewater, and there's still a heavy law enforcement presence. So we want to show you exactly what we're looking at this moment. And just within the last 10 minutes, there were still flames coming out of that building that holds a car wash, a restaurant, auto repair shop, and a dance studio for children. We're about to show you some dramatic video of the rescue as it unfolded, and we do want to warn you, the video is disturbing, but we also want to be very clear that nobody was seriously hurt. Again, nobody was seriously hurt thanks to the quick action of everyone involved. This is actually a story of heroism.
This gentleman right here, Tony Nemi and Officer Dalton, were the first guys on the scene. And I'll tell you what, it was one of the bravest things I ever seen.
Started breaking the window with my ass. We were able to get through the window. Another ladder appeared. Someone passed it up to us on the roof. We were able to break the rest of that window with that ladder. And the girl started walking out. The one girl jumped in my arms.
Again, we want to stress no one was seriously hurt here. Officer Dalton, who you just heard from, called it the most terrifying moment of his career. We're told there were 5 minor injuries as those people were rescued. We're also told no firefighters were hurt. Your commute in and out of New York and New Jersey is about to cost more. The Port Authority approved hikes in tolls and fares for drivers that use bridges and tunnels. Drivers like Amir Caldes.
I use every day Holland Tunnel and Lincoln Tunnel.
He commutes into Manhattan from Bayonne.
$15 is enough.
He says it's already costly, but it'll soon be $16.
I find there's no reason for that, too much.
The Port Authority is touting the fact it's the first fare increase since 2015, but commuters...
I feel like they just did that.
don't share that sentiment.
It's already
pretty high.
The Port Authority says that the increases are necessary in order to keep up with inflation and invest in the area's infrastructure. But the drivers and commuters that we spoke to say they don't have a lot of faith that they'll see the benefits of those projects.
If I don't see it, I don't see any point.
The $37 billion plan aims to improve the Port Authority's facilities like a new Terminal 2 at Newark Airport, Port Authority terminal improvements, and a $1 billion overhaul to PATH stations.
I mean, if I see it, then that would be great. I feel like a lot of these projects have been ongoing for years.
And now it's going to really take a toll on their wallets.
For me, for my budget is too much.
Some of the hikes start in November, most of them go into effect next year. For a full list on all the rate hikes, head to the Port Authority's website. From Jersey City, Tom Murphy, FiOS 1 News. There are dozens of homes that have had some really bad flood damage to their houses. Power is out, power is off the grid here as well. We were able to catch up with one of the families that is out of their home tonight to see how they're handling these high waters.
Just moved in here about 2 months ago. This is our first home.
Shannon Ferry and her husband are supposed to be celebrating 2 months in their first home.
Been through some things. My husband has cancer and we, fought it for 4 years now and saved up money enough to move here.
Instead,
literally that's everything that him and I have worked for.
They're wading out of waist-deep water,
Be careful, baby.
trying to salvage whatever they can.
Devastated. Everything in the house is destroyed. It's got well over almost 2 feet of water. The furniture, carpeting, the floors are buckled. And I hope that we can rebuild.
Ferry's home was one of several that flooded here in Brick Township on Monday. A state of emergency was declared. We watched as a police Hummer drove through 3 feet of water to check and make sure everyone was okay.
There's a lot of elderly people in this area, and just thank God nobody was died from something of this.
These pictures taken by the Brick Township Police Department show just how much water came through here on Monday.
It's just a freak thing.
Scary. It didn't seem like it was ever going to stop.
I could hear it pounded on the roof of my house. It sounded like a roar. That's how heavy the rain was coming down. And
everyone we spoke to said they were stunned by the storm.
The amount all at once, it seemed like the 8 inches just flooded in. It came down too fast.
And the neighborhood is not in a flood zone.
They told me we didn't need flood insurance because this wasn't a flood zone.
Who's going to cover it? No FEMA, nobody? Somebody's got to cover this. I mean, what do these people do?
Ferry says she's not sure.
I don't know how that works, so I'm a little afraid at the moment that, everything we own is underwater.
So I asked Shannon Ferry earlier today where she's planning on sleeping tonight, and she says she doesn't have any family in the area, so she'll have to go to the shelter that was set up by the Red Cross here in this Greenbrier neighborhood. We're reporting tonight from Brick Township. Tom Murphy, FiOS 1 News.
FiOS 1 News, Weekend Edition.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into FiOS 1 News' Weekend Edition. I'm Tom Murphy. We'll get to all your top stories in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at our weekend forecast with Lauren Richardson. Lauren? We start with breaking news out of Lancaster, South Carolina. We're getting word of a deadly shooting at a bar in that town around 2:45 this morning. Local authorities are reporting at least 2 people are dead and at least 8 others were shot and wounded. Media reports say it happened at the Old School Sports Bar and Grill on Old Charlotte Road. Authorities say shots were fired both inside and outside the packed club. No arrests have been made. We'll have more on this story as soon as new information becomes available. As concerns mount in Newark over the city's water crisis, neighboring towns are also doing their part to make sure their residents are safe. FiOS 1's Stephen Maluski has more from Belleville. Disturbing new details about the Morristown man accused of scouting dozens of high-profile locations for possible terror attacks. 42-year-old Alexei Saab is accused of supporting Hezbollah. He was allegedly trained by the terror group in bomb making. Authorities say he was also scouting locations for them, including the Statue of Liberty, the U.S. Capitol, and the George Washington Bridge.
It's those kind of locations that they're looking for because they want to inflict maximum fear and then potentially maximum economic damage on the United States.
Federal investigators say they found pictures on Saab's devices. He was allegedly sending them and other intelligence to the group. In addition to the terrorism charges, he's also accused of marriage fraud for allegedly marrying a co-conspirator in 2012 under false pretenses. A school bus shutdown in Lakewood was averted, but the problem isn't solved yet. Buses nearly stopped running on Friday due to a contract dispute, but Mayor Raymond Cole has made a last-minute phone call to Governor Murphy to get the state to intervene. It's only a short-term solution because the state's intervention only keeps the buses running through Monday. The Board of Education will hold a special meeting Monday night where they will try to find a permanent solution. Nearly 38,000 students are potentially affected should the contract dispute carry on. Classes could also be canceled. New Jersey is stepping up security for the upcoming Jewish High Holy Days. Bergen County leaders held a security briefing with Jewish community leaders. Starting tomorrow, local police departments will increase security at local synagogues as well as remain vigilant for any threat. This is after the recent attacks in California and Pennsylvania.
We operate better when we have dignity and respect for each other. That law enforcement operates better when we have respect for all the communities that we serve, when we understand all the communities we serve.
It's extremely emotional, extremely sensitive, and that's why we thank law enforcement for coming out to that.
The first of the High Holy Days, Rosh Hashanah, begins a week from Sunday. The fallout from vaping-related deaths continues. Coming up, a major decision from retail giant Walmart regarding the sale of e-cigarettes. That and more after this.